Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, and I'm joining you from my backyard. Yes, it's a gorgeous day, and so why not get outside a little bit? So we have moved our B&L office furniture studio outside. And next week, we're going to be outside again. Well, we may be inside, but we'll be at Culver's on Highway 75 and Highway 50 in Paddock Lake, as we're going to be out there for the a racing show, the Cruising for Custard Motorsports and Car Show. Both Wilmot Raceway and Great Lakes Dragway are going to be involved with that. It's going to be from 4 until 7 o'clock or until dark, pretty much. And that's going to be at the Culver's Frozen Custard. So plan on coming out, having some custard with us, getting a close look at race cars and cruising cars and drag cars, a little bit of everything. That's 1 week from tonight, Wednesday, June the 12th. Don't miss it. We're looking forward to having everybody there. So we got a busy show tonight. We're going to have, of course, John coming on from Great Lakes Dragway very shortly. And then we're going to also have 3 different drivers that'll be racing that have already raced at Wilmot Raceway this year. Two of them have. One of them has a number of years ago, and we'll be talking with all of them about some upcoming races up at Plymouth and also at Wilmot in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to also talk to the voice of Road America. Eric Miller is going to be joining us, talking about what big event they've got coming up this weekend. The Indy cars are coming to Road America this coming weekend, and we're going to talk to Eric a little bit about that. And we may have a surprise guest later on. We're just going to have to wait and see. And you're going to have to wait and see. So let's start it off with John from Great Lakes Dragway, ready to join us now. And John, welcome to the program. I know you come from unique places from time to time when you're on with us, but you haven't been outside yet.
Yeah, no. Today I'm sitting in my computer room at home. I just came in from the shop working on my car, and I thought I'd just come in here for a little while and talk to you guys and head back out there again and get ready for this weekend's race.
Well, of course, Wednesday nights, always ladies' night at Great Lakes Dragway. So that's what's going on tonight. The ladies get to race for free, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, free admission, free racing, and they're kicking the guys' butts too. They're ahead in the bracket race when they do the battle of the sexes after they win, and the women are beating the men. So that's usually what happens. Unfortunately, the women have great reaction times and they do well. So it's kind of fun. It's a fun night. It's a good night for anybody that really wants to try to bracket race, because you can do it in a relaxed environment and kind of learn the ropes. And there's a lot of people there to show you how to do it and what you need to do. So it's a fun time. Yeah, Wednesdays are fun.
Well, and we have been talking about, you heard me mention right at the beginning, of course, 1 week from tonight, we're going to be at Culver's enjoying some custard and some Butterburgers and who knows what else, maybe some cheese curds. But we're also going to be enjoying getting a close look at a lot of different racing machinery and a lot of different cruise cars. And I know you're planning on bringing one of your cars out to Culver's 1 week from tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a 62 Corvette gasser with the blown 540 big block Chevy in it. So I'll have that out there with the zoomies on it. So it's nice and loud, zoomy pipes. So yeah, we're going to try to get a few of the other guys out there to show some of the cars that we have racing at the track.
And now, speaking of the gassers, the Brew City Gassers are presenting the Out of Sight Drags. That'll be coming up June 28th and 29th at Great Lakes Dragway.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we're going to have We got about a little over 200 cars registered so far, and it's going to be a family event. We've got gassers, dragsters. We've got some altereds, and we've got a couple nitro altereds that are going to be making exhibition passes. We've got the original Shake, Rattle, and Run car against the Kilpatrick Bad Judgment car. Band on Saturday night. We've got vendors that'll be set up selling a swap meet, and we also have a car show for 76 and earlier cars. They pay general admission, which is like $25 to get in, and you can park right along the return road, which is nice, and watch the racing and sit with your cars, and then walk through the pits and see some of the other vehicles that show up. And we've got people coming from all over the country. It's kind of neat, some guys out in Nevada, California, down south, and out east, Philadelphia, and that. So it's going to be a fun time.
And now is this the event, or is it later on in the summer when you're actually going to drive some cars from Great Lakes Dragway down to a business in Union Grove and have some burgers and brats and then turn around and drive back?
Yeah, that's this event. That's going to be Saturday morning around 10 o'clock. We're going to leave. We got the okay and get the road closed off, and down going to do a kind of a parade route down 45 to KR, or KR to 45, and then 45 down through town, turn around at the high school, come back through town, and then go over to the Grove Bowl over there. And they're going to have a little cookout there. And then from the Grove Bowl, we're going to head back to the track and continue the day with some racing.
Well, that sounds like some fun. That sounds pretty cool. Well, hopefully we can get. I mean, if we get 200 of your cars to show up 1 week from tonight at Culver's, we're gonna have some problems. But finding space
won't get that many. Probably won't get that many, but we're definitely going to spread the word to get some guys out there. That's kind of neat, and it's a new venue. It's great for us because we can promote our race and do it, promote some of the other things at the track, and it's right in the area. So that's awesome.
And we are working. We aren't ready to officially announce it, but we are working with some local businesses that may allow haulers to be parked there. We're pretty sure we're going to get that worked out very soon. Just a couple more phone calls that need to be made and that. But more than likely, this one I could throw out there is more than likely haulers will be able to be parked at Central High School. Okay. And, after they drop off their cars, they can take the haulers over to Central High School. And then it's not that long of a walk, just a couple
sure.
of big blocks, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
And so it's not too bad. And then because obviously we've got to keep enough room at Culver's for not only the cars that'll be shown, but also the folks that are patronizing the place. So we want to work with, we got to make this a win-win for everybody so that we can possibly start doing this on maybe more than once a year. We'll just have to wait it all until we see. Marco is the new general manager there. He's just taken over a couple of weeks ago, and he's very enthused and excited about the possibility of not only this event, but doing some more events in the future. So we're looking forward to it 1 week from tonight. Again, it starts at 4. It's going to go till dark, pretty much. I mean, Culver's is open till 10. We're not going to chase anybody out if they want to stick around and visit and eat and have some mixers, concrete mixers, and all that good stuff. It's going to be a great way, and kind of kicks off Father's Day weekend pretty much. Father's Day weekend coming up on Sunday the 16th. But I know you've got some special events and some racing going on at Great Lakes Father's Day weekend. Yeah,
we're going to be after the Culver's event there. Actually, this Saturday we have the starting out. I guess I should start out with Friday. Friday, the Wisconsin Outlaw Street, they're going to be having Total Venue Concepts come back into the track and prep the track professionally. They have some good equipment that they bring out, and our crew does a great job of prepping the track, but these guys are going to come out, put a little bit more glue on the track for the drag radial cars with the small tires, get it real sticky. So the other Friday, previous Friday to the race that they had on the Saturday, there was a lot of cars testing that didn't necessarily race on Saturday, but from the area that they knew the track was going to be prepped good, they were going racing other places. So there was a neat combination of different really fast cars out there on that Friday. It was a good night to come out and spectate. And then Saturday we're doing our streetcar brawl. which will include the Wisconsin Outlaw Street. And they're going to be racing that. Our group will be racing to get to our Bruce City Gassers along with some of the other groups. And then we're looking forward to Sunday. We got Ford Fun Day, which is something we'll see how that turns out. And then during the
no, I got a Mustang convertible. Does that mean I can bring that out on that day?
You bet. Yeah, come out on Sunday. Yeah, Ford Fun Day. See what we have out there, and then the following weekend will be brackets. We're gonna have another bracket racing, and also during the bracket races we have test and tune. On Sunday, I had taken my car out there just to make a couple passes with it because it was slowing down a little bit. I wanted to see what was going on, and they were doing a bracket race, and I was surprised we had like 85 fun racers in addition to the bracket races. So it was a pretty good crowd, full house, and everything was running pretty smoothly.
Well, that's great to hear, and of course we got to have Mother Nature cooperating with us a little bit. I know last weekend on Saturday, everybody pretty much got washed out. The monster truck show at Wilmot got moved to Sunday, and then Sunday afternoon it was fantastic. I haven't been to a monster truck show in years, and the monster truck throwdown was just a great family event. They did a great job, put on a great show, starting at, they opened the gates around 2 and they got done. They wrapped everything up about 6 o'clock. Just like drag racing, just like oval track racing we do at Wilmot Raceway, it's all family oriented, and you got to get the families involved and let them have some fun. And if you do that, they're going to come back, and who knows, maybe you'll have some future racers, or in this case, they had a young lady, I think she was 14, driving one of the monster trucks.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
Then they had another young lady, I think she was making her first start, Athena, in Little Miss Dangerous, and she actually had the truck on display at Culver's last Friday, kind of a last minute deal we threw together, and she brought the truck out, and she had a lot of people stopping by to visit, and kids wanting to get pictures with her, and that's what it's all about, and that's what we're going to do on June 12th. We're looking forward to it, having a lot of fun, and again, we've got a lot of schedules that we'll be handing out there for Great Lakes Dragaway, and I think this shows you. The flyer that we just had on the screen just a little bit ago that Kent put up there, that he might even throw up there again, as I just referenced it, has got logos for both Great Lakes Dragaway and Wilmot Raceway on it. And it just shows that, we may be competing in some respects, but we work together. And we all want to see, we want to see success of both facilities, and we're going to continue to do that. That's something that was started years ago with some of the former promoters like Ray Toft and Andy Callan and Broadway Bob from Great Lakes, and the Simons family and the Winkers. Everybody kind of worked together and did the best they could. So to make it a win-win for everybody. So we're going to continue to do that. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that Elliot Miller, who heads up the monster trucks, John, he is looking to buy memorabilia from Great Lakes Dragaway. So if you guys got some extra stuff sitting around in the back rooms that you want to get rid of, I've got his contact information, and he says he's more than interested in getting stuff, particularly if it's related to monster trucks.
Okay. I remember. Yeah, I remember going out.
Right, and I got to go over in a monster truck over the course. Broadway Bob put me in a monster truck that had a seat in it, and we did have a truck with a seat this last week. Red Dog at Wilmot had a seat in it. I did not go in it.
Okay.
But and actually Elliot said that there's not too many trucks with seats anymore. He said that was a big thing about 30 years ago. So if we can dig up any pictures, he kept asking me, what was the name of the truck you went over in? I said, I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is I hit my head when I went over. So if we can find any of that stuff, we'll get you guys together and see what we can get for them.
Yeah, I'll talk to Claire about that. I know she has a lot of pictures, in the archives and stuff from some of the trucks. And I remember going out there many, many years ago before there was the Bob Chandler and the Bigfoot truck. There was a gentleman out there that had a truck called Barefoot, which was actually, I think, he was trying to get it in one of the magazines, and they had him driving over, crushing the cars. And then they had said, well, that's not in good taste. They didn't put him in there. But then when Bob Chandler got the Bigfoot truck, then they did it with his, so then it's kind of started it all out. But that was kind of a neat that time back then when they used to do all that, for sure.
That's for sure. So, well, we're looking forward to next Wednesday. We'll be looking forward to seeing your car. I've never even seen a picture of your car yet. So,
yeah, it's loud, and it's kind of old. It's old school stuff, and we encourage the kids to come out. We'll let them sit in the car. If you want to take pictures with the kids in there, we do that quite a bit, and maybe we'll fire them up a few times if people get interested, so they can kind of hear what they sound like and get the smell and the feel of it a little bit. So it'll be fun. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we appreciate it very much, John, and appreciate you coming on each week. And again, folks can get more information on Great Lakes Dragaway. Go ahead and give them that website and phone number.
That's greatlakesdragaway.com, and the phone number is 262-878-3783. And it's usually Randy or Claire, one of the owners, that are answering the phone. So you get to talk to one of those guys.
Well, you can't beat that when you call and you talk to the owner, talk to the boss. So.
Yep, you bet.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. We'll see you 1 week from tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you out at Culver's. Nice talking to you.
All righty. And that was John joining us from Great Lakes Dragaway. We want to thank our sponsors, B&L Office Furniture, of course, Great Lakes Dragaway, Wilmot Raceway, Fox Lake Harbor, that all help us out each and every week, and we definitely do appreciate that. Also want to thank Steve Sinclair and the Interstate Racing Association and the Richmond Hunt Club that's come on board, Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation, MLS Auto Clinic, Impressions Count, Weeby Waxon, Bodycraft of Antioch, also Buddies of McHenry. We're going to be making a road trip out to Buddies sometime soon. Stay tuned. Also, Impressions Count, we just mentioned up there. Of course, A-Main Apparel that's helped us out actually with that flyer that you've seen. And we appreciate the help of the Tennyson family. They do a lot for racing in the area, particularly for the IRA. And they've done a lot for Wilmot over the year. Their son's Cody has done a lot in My Race Pass, which helps to get information on racing and scoring on racing all over the country. And of course, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Nielsen Enterprises, Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill Fusting, that does race from time to time at Great Lakes Dragaway. And we're hoping that Bill might get his drag racer out to Culver's as well. And Libertyville Manor, Generations of Care, Young at Heart Preschool, where I happen to work my day job, the Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, and the Lake County Honor Flight as well. And again, you can go to info@216thenet.com if you're interested in becoming a marketing partner, sponsor of the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Show. Check them out. Again, we thank all these fine folks because they get us on the air each and every week and help support us and do a lot to also get us guests. And we talked about Father's Day weekend coming up. And before Father's Day weekend, we've got a big event coming up for the Interstate Racing Association. So we've got a trio of drivers, I believe, that are all ready to come on with us. So we're going to go with the trio. The Schlafers are joining us first. I see Danny, and I see him looking for Dad. And then, oh no, we don't. We're not ready for Eric Miller yet. We're looking for Preston. Nothing like live podcast, Eric just got bumped by Preston. Now he can tell everybody that he just bumped the voice of Road America. Let's see. I don't know if we can widen the screen out or get them to get nice and cozy so we can both see both Danny, and Al.
I'm trying.
There, you're getting it. You're getting there.
You get it.
And again, we're looking forward to a great. Oh, there we go.
That's better.
Now we got everybody. So welcome to the program. And the first thing we're going to talk about is this last Friday night up at Beaver Dam Raceway up there in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. The World of Outlaws came to town for what they had hoped to be a 2-day show, but it ended up being a 1-day show because Mother Nature said she was going to win on Saturday. So now we've got a triple header coming up later on in July. They're going to run Wednesday night at Beaver Dam, and then they're going to run on Friday and Saturday night at Wilmot with a day off in between, but a lot of activities going on at Wilmot. So let's start off with what you guys went through and how things went. And we're going to start off with the older guy, Danny Schlafer. No, Al. I know Al's the senior on the screen here, but we're going to start off with Danny and talk about how things went for the number 25 car last Friday.
It went pretty smooth actually for basically the first night on that car that I ran Friday night there at Beaver Dam. So everything went smooth. We were really quick early. I think we were 8th or 10th quick after hot laps and qualified 16th. So to start out the night like that, you can't ask for much more than that. So we put ourselves in a position and just unfortunately, being a new car, having to learn it, we kind of missed on the setup for the A, but all in all, a good night for us.
Well, you made the show, and with the World of Outlaws, to make the show is always a feather in anyone's cap. And
yeah.
I know over the years, the guy sitting to your left, to the right on the screen here,
Yep.
He's made his share of World of Outlaw shows over the years, and we had the longest chat, Al and I did after the races Saturday night. I think they were almost going to have to kick us out of there, but that's because we go way back. But Al, tell us a little bit about. You were telling me a little about the new car. And things and how you discussed whether you were going to make changes or you didn't want to make changes, and kind of tell us about your role now that you're not doing the driving.
Well, so Danny pretty much makes his calls as far as what he wants, what he's feeling. He'll bounce it off me, a little more left rear, or a turn here, a turn and a half here, in and out, and different things and shock settings and stuff. But he's pretty well just doing his own thing. He'll bounce it off the elder for, am I going the right way or am I going the wrong way? Like he said, we were pretty good there early on Friday night. That car was another new car for him. That's one of the reasons why we took it there, to kind of prove it out. Not that it didn't count, but it counted, but not necessarily IRA point thing. And like you said, it's a little different. So maybe we didn't adjust enough, or we didn't quite go in the right direction for the A. And I could see it about halfway through that he was just content to say, hey, we'll roll this back in the trailer. We're not going to do anything crazy here. But, the car is basically the same car. They're all J&Js. That's what he's had, for probably the last closer to 10 years. I really believe in those cars safety-wise as much as anything. But so again, all in all, Friday night was a good night. You are right. We go way, way back. In fact, in my sleep, Mike, and I'm going to probably, when we go to Wilmot, I'm going to bring you a photograph of one victory lane with a photograph interview between you and I, and that's probably 40 years ago. But,
well, and it is kind of fun because I did get to interview Danny and talk to him when he won the Founders Night a couple of years ago, and had a really strong run going this year. And then Scotty Neitzel, who was on the show with us last week, actually picked up the win this year. But Danny was right there for quite a while. Now we're going to kind of quote, shift gears a little bit to the young guy that's on the screen here with us, Preston Rue. Preston, you ran with the World of Outlaws. You've run with Danny. I don't think you ever ran with Al.
But, I did. Yeah, I did.
So tell us about your experience last Friday night up there at Beaver Dam, and then kind of what you got in store for this coming week. I know you guys start out at Plymouth this coming Saturday night, a big show up there.
Yeah, exactly. So back on Friday night, we qualified out really early and kind of misjudged the track a bit on the setup, and just didn't end up qualifying in a good spot, and kind of just stayed the same throughout the heat race. And then we were able to move forward in the B main, but finished just outside of the transfer positions. So unfortunately our World of Outlaws night ended in the B main. But we added a lot of notes to the notebook for this one, and we're ready for when we go back to Beaver Dam Raceway at the end of July, I believe.
Yep, right. And that'll be on a Wednesday night. They're going to make up the second half of that show. And then, like I say, they're off on Thursday, and then they come into Wilmot on July 12th and the 13th, a doubleheader that weekend. Now, Al just mentioned that he used to race with your dad.
No, I've raced against Al.
You did race.
He did.
2019 was my first year of 360 action, and so I raced with Al for, I'm not sure entirely when you stopped there, 2021 or so.
Well, let's just say that I don't want you're never ever going to hear me say retire. I don't retire from anything, but I've slowed down from driving a car. But I think 21 was when we first went with IRA full time. So been dibble dabble since. Because in fact, once upon a time there really is only one true 26 car, because it's whatever it is, 45 years, and there's the 25T, there's the 26R, or the 25. There's different cars, but they usually run their first name or their last name is a digit number. Respectfully. But I thought it was cool if these young guys took the 26.
Yeah, and I have a story about that. That was because I took the 26 because it was my grandpa's number back when he raced throughout the 60s into the 80s. So,
right. So I think I asked you that one time why you chose it. I don't think it was to honor me. I never expected that. But I think you did tell me that. It's cool. Good.
Well, that is pretty cool. Well, like I say, this coming week, you guys technically had a week off from the IRA. A number of IRA cars did run at Beaver Dam with the World of Outlaws. Some of the guys took the weekend off, and some guys, I think, even went and raced some other places over the weekend. But this coming weekend on Saturday night up at Plymouth Dirt Track, which is the home for the MSA 360s, so both of you have, Al definitely has a lot of laps in at Plymouth, and Preston, you do too. But this week is a special event. It's been a combination. It's been a partnership between Steve Sinclair and the IRA and Mike Kircher and Road America. And we're going to talk to Eric Miller a little bit about that partnership coming up a little bit later. But first of all, Preston, what's it mean to you to be able to go back to Plymouth and run somewhat on your home track?
Yeah, I love racing Plymouth. Plymouth is where I was able to get 2 micro sprint championships, and so it's always held a really special place in my heart. So I always love going back to Plymouth. It's always a lot of fun. So really looking forward to this weekend with the collaboration between Road America and the Plymouth Dirt Track and the IRA. I think it's really going to be a new light, hopefully, into the sport. Hopefully we can get some of the asphalt road people to come over and see why we're so passionate about sprint car racing.
Well, and it's my understanding, and I'm sure Eric will give us an update on that. But there's going to be a trio of IndyCar drivers that are coming over to visit with fans and sign autographs, and maybe even see what sprint car racing is all about. I know from my years when I announced up at Road America, when we had special events over at Plymouth on Friday night or Saturday night, oftentimes entire race teams would come and watch, and it was pretty cool. And you never knew who was going to show up because they didn't tell you ahead of time. All of a sudden, you just see all these, one entire, Chip Ganassi's whole team would be in the stands, and watching the races. So you never know who might show up. So that's going to be really a lot of fun. Now, Danny, for you now, it's back to the IRA series. I should have done my homework. Shame on me. I don't know where you're at in the points right now, but I know you're up there, and at least in the top 10, I would presume.
Yeah, I don't even know for sure either. So I don't I don't worry about the points until last night. So can't fix where I am. All I can do is keep trying. So.
Well, tell us a little bit about now coming to Plymouth and running there, and maybe some successes you've had over the years, and some not so good nights, some nights you want to forget.
Oh yeah, you got nights everywhere you want to forget, right? Last time we were at Wilmot, I want to forget about that, but no, Plymouth, I've been really good and really bad at Plymouth, all in the same night, right? So, yeah, I won a lot of races at Plymouth. I had one championship, maybe two championships back in 360 days there. So, yeah, it's a second home to me. I want to say Beaver Dam's my first home because that's where I cut my teeth, and Plymouth made a lot of laps around Plymouth. So, always a good time going back to Plymouth. Really enjoy going there and seeing everybody again. It's a great fan base at Plymouth. They really love us for some reason. So, yeah, it's really good to be back.
And now for your dad sitting next to you there, how much success did you have over the years at Plymouth? I think you won more than one checkered flag here.
In Maine's, I think maybe about 10 or 12, somewhere's in there. Mike, I don't really. The daughters have all them stats, but we had success there. I mean, Wilmot and Plymouth, we were fortunate. Actually, Beaver Dam too was the third one that we were able to run first and second 3 different times. Danny and I, that is one winning and one finishing second. But I think I actually get credited for 2 wins and him finishing second twice to me. But the once at Beaver Dam, he said that was either going to win or he was going to wreck us both. But that's what Danny says. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, no, I've had success there. Plymouth, we did race there with IRA or 410 stuff. Boy, I don't know, early 80s even, a couple special events, if you can kind of remember that, Mike. But yeah, that for probably 10 years or they were close to it, every Friday night at Manitowoc and every Saturday night at Plymouth. So, but between I and Danny, yeah, we probably should know our way around a place. I mean, or know how to set up a car there. And that's probably what's kind of maybe helping Cody, Danny's oldest, is, wheel the car there 3 times, I think, in competition now. And is handling it quite well, in my opinion. But Danny said years ago, he said, well, I can't get rid of the Schlafers because they're just going to be around forever. And maybe I'll live to see that. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But I guess that he'll be involved in racing probably long after I'm gone. So it's all good, though.
Well, no, and I know it was recently, but I don't want to date it because then that'll show that I'm not remembering things, the exact year. But you had your entire family, or 4 generations that raced
3
one
generations.
night. 3
Yeah,
generations.
3 generations. My 2 boys and and Dad.
Yeah, 3 generations active in the same night. And I don't think Danny was in his 360 car because Casey was in his 360 car. But we still all 4 were on the racetrack at the same time, which probably that's another feather in my cap that 3 generations at least active all at the same time. 3 generation drivers is really not that uncommon anymore today by any means of stretch. You know, you look at my old friend Joey Christan or Brian's stuff, it goes on and on and on. But seldom has generations raced together against each other for Danny and I had for 25 years against each other battle, you know. So, I mean, that's cool. We had a lot of cool memories.
Yeah, that was fun. And I know when they had the special introduction for you prior to the start of the races that night, you had a few tears.
Mike, I couldn't handle it. Okay, and reality hit. Okay, at the end of the day, it's all I can say is the reality hit to what the last 45 years had been, or what led up to all of that. And you are correct. I was just about speechless, or virtually had, Danny and the boys really put that together for me more than anything, or whatever, to make sure that everything was good to go for the night. Those who know me, they say, well, he's half crazy anyways, meaning Al. But Kurt David's brother said, man, my God, 4 cars in the same night. I said, yeah, it's a lot. Let's just say it that way. I don't think we want to do that on a nightly basis.
There you go. Well, there's a NASCAR team for sale right now that's got like 4 cars. So
no, Miss Debbie said today, because I made some comment about retirement, and she said, no way, you can't race. Well, that's why I said, you've never heard me utter the word retirement. I don't think you will.
Now, after this weekend, you guys don't really take a whole lot of time off for the IRA, because the Bumper to Bumper IRA series comes back to Wilmot. It's almost one of the quickest turnarounds I think we've had for you guys to come down to Wilmot. Of course, Wilmot, the original home of the IRA, well over 50 years ago, and did recognize that just about 10 days ago with the Founders Night, recognizing Ray Toft and Junior Dodd and Whitey Harris that did put the whole IRA together over 50 years ago. It is something else to see how it's developed and grown, and now you kind of have 3 different types of race cars under the IRA umbrella that Steve Sinclair has got going. You've got the 410s, you've got the wingless, and you've got the Lightnings, all under the IRA umbrella. And because of that, when I announce, there's many nights I do announce 2nd, 3rd generation drivers. I mean, a lot of drivers that weren't even thought of, Al, when you and I were starting in this.
Right. Well, they weren't even thought of being born. Right.
Right. I mean, some of the parents weren't even dating yet.
Correct. Right. Their parents weren't dating.
So,
right.
But you guys are coming back to Wilmot. I know, like Danny just said, his home track, he kind of considers Beaver Dam, Preston. It's kind of Plymouth. But when you really look at the club, it's Wilmot. That's where it all started, and that's where it has continued year after year after year. So coming back to Wilmot on the 15th of June, Father's Day weekend. It's going to be very special that night, along with the wingless cars, the Bandits, and the street stocks will be on the program. You guys have been there now. Like Danny said, he kind of liked to forget the last time he was at Wilmot. So maybe this time make a little better memory.
Or maybe just forget that one.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, right? That's why we're going. We always go to win, and if it happens, it happens. If not, we'll just enjoy the night as a family, and be great being at Wilmot. We both have had a lot of success at Wilmot, both in 410 and 360 stuff. So it's always great to be back at Wilmot. If that's got to be my 3rd home, that's Wilmot's it. I grew up there, and got a lot of laps around the grandstands at that place, and also the track when all the haulers used to come out on the track after the feature or after the night was over. So
Right.
I made a lot of laps around that place, either on foot or in a race car, that's for sure.
Like actually Wilmot, probably if I had a home track, it'd have to be Wilmot because of course that's where I virtually started along with IRA and spent, I don't know, close to 20 years with IRA there in a traveling as well. But yeah, Wilmot in 2003, I think it was, we raced there a lot with the 360 cars, and we kind of had an upper hand because we just knew the place that well, or at least I did anyways, or whatever. And I don't remember. I think I got 3 and Danny got 5 or so. I mean, between the combination, it was either 7 or 8 main event wins that you're just at Wilmot that him and I got. But like I said, we kind of had a little bit of an upper hand on the experience level with what that track did then, had done, and does do. So, but it's all good.
Yep. Now, like I say, it's going to be the Father's Day special. We're really looking forward to it. There's also going to be a couple other surprises that we always like to have a few surprises when the IRA comes to town. And you mentioned, how many years in that Wilmot's been going. Well, next year's the 75th anniversary year for Wilmot. You mentioned bringing the haulers out. We're working on it. One of the nights, we're going to have a throwback night, and the haulers are, we're working on it.
I'm not quite sure how you get that big stuff on the racetrack. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to talk some folks into to possibly doing that, so we'll see what we can do.
Awesome.
I don't know how much success I'll have, but if I get enough people talking about it and talking to the right people about it, then hopefully we can make it happen. And if nothing else, maybe we bring the big rigs off of 1 and 2, kind of on the on the part of the track that goes to the scales and goes into the pits.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can work out. You never know.
I don't drink beer, but I may have to bring a whiskey or something for that night. That's for sure. So.
There you go. Well, we're going to shift over to Preston here. Preston, you don't remember, I don't think, the haulers coming on the track at Wilmot, because you probably weren't born when the haulers were coming on the track at Wilmot. But your thoughts about going to Wilmot?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Now, I don't have even a portion of what the Schlafers have there in terms of laps or tries. I think this will probably be my 10th time there, I want to say. But every single time we're there, I always enjoy it. The track races, I think, really differently than a lot of the other tracks around here. And so I really enjoy it. I really love coming to Wilmot each time and really looking forward to June 15th when we get to go back there again.
Now, something I'm going to let you give a mention for it. I know you've been involved. You've got a special paint scheme this year, and you're doing it for a particular reason. And maybe you and I and Maddie need to talk offline and see if we can't work something out for the 15th. Where you can get involved and maybe come on the grandstand side. So we'll talk about that and see what we could work out there. But tell folks a little bit about why you have the paint scheme that you have this year.
Yeah, so this year the car is black and bright neon green. And that is for our close friend, Gracie Cleveland, who was diagnosed in January with lymphoma. And the green is the color of the lymphoma ribbon. And so in any way we can, we're trying to, raise support for the Cleveland family. One of the ways that we're doing this is through our merch this year, which actually just dropped earlier today. So if you're looking for it, a little bit of a shameless plug here, it's a-mainapparel.com/rue. And all of the proceeds, all of the profit off of that is all going right to the Cleveland family.
Okay. And she was also, or has been, and still continues to be somewhat involved with the IRA, correct?
Correct. Yep. And her entire family comes to the races all the time. They're very close to Plymouth. And so they go to Plymouth every single weekend. And they've been fans of racing for, since they were little kids, since their parents were little kids. So it's really cool to be able to have the whole Cleveland family come to the racetrack and support the IRA. Now their younger daughter, Sadie, also works for the IRA this year.
Okay, well, we're getting to the point where we're going to wrap up this segment with you guys, and then we're going to actually bring Eric Miller in and talk to him a little bit about Road America. But this is your time to hit your sponsors, thank your crew members, thank your family, anybody you need to thank to get you to the racetrack, and we'll get you to Plymouth this Saturday and to Wilmot a week from Saturday.
You can go, Preston.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody go.
First off, I have to thank my fiance Madeline. She does all the marketing and social media for the team, and so we wouldn't look half as good as we would without her. Then for all of our sponsors here, I want to thank Professional Plating Incorporated, Peterson's Welding and Machine Company, Flyrite LLC, Oosberg Family Dentistry, SC Diecast, Full Throttle Inc., Lake Home Retreats, Shape of You, Clink Equipment, Maxium Property Services, HRP, Advanced Eye Care, Courtyard Landscaping, The Unsafe Space, The Shadow Man, Hobbytown Green Bay, MSP Camera Mounts, A-Main Apparel, Flat Out Friday, Mama Tried Motorcycle Show, and GoPro. For all of their support, we wouldn't make it to the racetrack without them.
All righty, there you go. And I know now, Danny, now you've seen how he did it, so you get to do it now.
He's a little more professional than I am, but yeah, we just got to thank our shop, obviously, Schleifer Auto, Dynamic Stamping, Big Fish Contracting, Hoff Farms, Indian Motorcycles in Metro Milwaukee, Main Street Blooms Boutique, Saltman Lake Country, Sam I Am, Mr. Jim's Racing, Jim Duncan Racing, Wild Bill Racing. Sure, I'm forgetting a couple here and there, but HRP, J&J, Kistler Engines, they all support us and help us get up and down the road. And got to thank the family. Obviously, can't do it without the love and support of everybody. The whole crew, Mark, Jason, my nephews, just everybody helps us out. It's a big team effort that hopefully will pay off in the end. We'll see at the end of the year.
All righty, and also want to thank your dad, Al, and yeah, we do go way back. We've had a lot of good times, and I enjoy having the good times now with the younger guys. And we both had dark hair. I think when we started this, and maybe a little more.
More in my case, but Mike, I'm gonna bring that photograph. It hangs up in Debbie's office. I thought of it in my sleep when after last Friday when we visited. I said I'm gonna bring Mike that photograph and show him. And when I look at it, I think yeah, he's gonna say the same thing as me. Well, boy, that was a day or two ago, like 50 years. But
there you go. Well,
I'll bring it down to Wilmot and show you.
I'll be looking forward to it, Al. I'll be looking forward to it. I appreciate it. Well, again, thank you guys. We wish you the best this coming Saturday up there at Plymouth. And we'll be looking for you down at Wilmot for the Father's Day special on the 15th.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Thanks
for
a
having
lot,
us.
guys. Take care. God bless now.
Yep, you too.
Again, that was Preston Rue and Alan Danny Schleifer joining us. And again, they will be with the IRA this coming Saturday up at Plymouth, and a week from Saturday at Wilmot. This coming Saturday, we want to remind you, is Wilmot Raceway's Family Night Checkered Flag Giveaway. We'll have the wingless sprints. We'll also have the Wing 604 sprint cars, as well as Lightning sprints, and the Bandits will be back once again. And, of course, the Bandit series sponsored by one of our sponsors, B&L Office Furniture, as well. That'll be this coming week, this coming Saturday night. So you want to plan on joining us, and all the youngsters will be getting free checkered flags this coming Saturday night as well. The grandstand gates open at 5. On-track activity getting underway about 5:30. And racing at 6:45. That's this Saturday night, June the 8th. And then June 14th, kicking off Father's Day weekend at Wilmot, will be the Badger Truck and Tractor Pull with the Combine Demolition Derby. And then the Father's Day special with the bumper-to-bumper IRA sprint cars, the wingless, the Bandits, and the street stocks. And kind of in between there, on June 12th, Culver's, Paddock Lake. Don't miss it. Wednesday night, 1 week from tonight, you want to come to Culver's. And there's a guy that's going to join us right now. I know he likes Culver's. I don't
more
think
than
he'll
I
make it
should.
down. I don't think he'll make it down to the Culver's in Paddock Lake, but you never know.
Well, I try. I tell you, the last time we went to Wilmot, we were done at 9:30, and which is a pretty decent time to finish, and we were able to get to Paddock Lake. So there are chances if you get the program done early that you can get there on a Saturday night from Wilmot. So
there you go.
Well, it's always great
Culver's was not there the last time you were there, so it just opened about 3 months ago.
But yeah, we stopped, I think, on the way back. Obviously, we're up in Sheboygan County, but there was definitely a Culver's somewhere that we stopped on the way home that night.
All right. Well, we've got a good friend of mine, Eric Miller. Actually, his dad and I go back. I mean, you heard Al Schlafer talking there. Well, there's odds are that his dad, Roger, and I announced many a race that Al was racing in years ago at Plymouth, at Beaver Dam, World of Outlaws, because Johnny Gibson started out selling programs and he wasn't on the mic all the time. And there were many races that Roger and I announced at a lot of different venues.
Well, there's a few Beer Town showdowns at Hales. I recall taking a rock off of Steve Kinzer's right rear, and I was about 8 or 9 years old, up in the bleachers there.
Yep, for sure.
I've been announcing racing for 31 years. Not to date anyone, but I've been doing this for 31 years now.
Well, you're still not quite caught up to me.
No, not quite up. I won't catch up for a while.
No, because I started
not with 80. You keep going the way you are.
1980 is when I started. I started working in 77 at a racetrack, and it is fun though. It's got to be fun. Otherwise, we better quit what we're doing. I got to do 10 years at your home now, Road America, and your father and I did a number of races together up there, and some he planned on doing, some he got a phone call and got called away from mowing the grass, which I'm sure he was really upset about.
Well, the way that he mows the lawn 3 times a week now, he might have been. I don't know.
So, first of all, tell us a little bit about. I know IndyCar is coming to town this weekend up there at Road America. Tell us a little bit about that, and then also a little bit about this great partnership that Mike Kircher and Steve Sinclair have put together with Road America and the IRA at Plymouth.
Well, this is one of the fastest weekends we have at Road America. We just wrapped up Moto America this past weekend, which you've got motorcycles going 183 miles an hour down the straightaway. These cars are approaching 200 in the same vicinity at some of the fastest points in this racetrack. But the NTT IndyCar Series, fresh off of kind of a rough race weekend for them at Detroit, and of course the Indianapolis 500. No one's ever heard of that race before, right? But it's the same series, same cars coming to Road America. And one of the things that's really great about this weekend is it starts Thursday with some test days, which is really not a fan entry day. But if you have a weekend ticket through roadamerica.com, and we're already starting to sell 2025 tickets for this weekend. But you can come and start camping Thursday night and be here throughout all of that racing action. Of course, Friday you get some of the practice sessions, and then you get into qualifying for some of the support divisions. And what's really cool about this race weekend at Road America is the NTT IndyCar Series is joined by the Radical Cup North America, which is a really cool sports car open cockpit and a couple of closed cockpit divisions. But the racing is fantastic, usually about 20 or 25, 30 of those Radical Cup cars. And it's an international series. This is the North American rounds, but it is an international available car. And these cars race at places like Spa, Silverstone, Imola, over in Europe. And these cars come here and race this weekend as well. They've got 2 or 3 races throughout the course of the weekend. But we're also joined by Vintage Indy, which is really cool. So we've had the turbine car, the STP turbine car from the Indianapolis 500 in 69. We've got a couple of Emerson Fittipaldi's cars, the Domino's Pizza car, Al Jr. There's a Valvoline car that usually comes. There's a couple of the Donahue Penske car, the Sunoco car. It comes, and we've even got cars from the 1930s that raced at Indianapolis that race actually competitively at Road America during our 3 vintage weekends during the summer. So there's just the vintage Indy is really cool, but the ladder system is, I think, really what excites me most. My good friend Rob Howden is the voice of the USF Pro Championships, and that includes the USF Pro 2000 series, USF 2000 series, and of course there's also Indy NXT, which is their what used to call Indy Lights. Back in the days that you and Dad probably announced at Road America, and of course the NTT IndyCar series. But the weekend is jam packed. There's usually about 11 to 12 sessions every day, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., sometimes even to 6 p.m. This weekend, there's cars on track. Every 20 minutes you can find a different car on the racetrack, multiple different sessions. And it's, of course, a park-like atmosphere. We call it the National Park of Speed. You bring in your own food, your own beverages. You can, of course, buy from the concession stands and get traditional Road America food, but you can bring that. I think that's really one of the things that sets us apart from a lot of different racetracks. It is probably most like your local average short track when you come to Road America. It's such a family-friendly atmosphere. It's great for the kids. There's a family fun zone. They've got a fire truck they can climb on. There's all sorts of different things. Disc golf. I'll do during the race weekend. So it's not just about the racing that's on the track. You're really coming for the excitement and the experience, but you're staying for the race. And it's more about, what you experience while you're at the track. And of course, President Mike Kircher, being a Vorten sprint car driver, and to date myself, I started doing his PR and stuff when he was about 2007, about 1997, 98 or so. And he was about 17 years old. But, I did some of his PR, and when he was up and coming in the mini sprints, when he raced WIMSA down at Wilmot, and of course at Chilton back in the late 90s, before I went on tour with the IRA. Yeah. and me, I raced a few times too. In fact, so oddly enough, my fiance Kamisha actually is one of Danny's sponsors. We're just really good friends with the Schlafer family, and Danny's actually got my Silverado scheduled for some body work. I come all the way down to see Danny, so we've got some body work scheduled for my truck. But Preston Rue, his dad and I work together in our regular day jobs, but I actually raced against his dad Keith, so there's some connection from the last segment. But of course, when quite a bit younger for me, I went on to and did a lot of IRA stuff for Steve. And Steve does such a great job promoting the sport of sprint car racing with the IRA. I can't tell you how fantastic it is to have someone like Steve's caliber of how much he really, truly cares about the sport and continuing to grow the regional aspect of what the IRA is. Of course, it started at Wilmot and it slowly expanded, and it's gone through a lot of different changes over the years. And the IRA is really putting together some great programs. Obviously, your defending champion, Brendan Crouch, now running, professionally in a different series. Bill Baylog, of course, moving on with the World of Outlaws, coming back, just raced at Beaver Dam, had a great run at Beaver Dam. Coming to Wilmot, pretty rapidly here up in July. But you look at the IRA, it really sets its program apart from a lot of other regional sprint car series in the fact that it's in the middle of such a hotbed of racing, pulling teams and drivers from Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, of course, all of Wisconsin, Michigan. It's in the perfect melting pot of competition from a sprint car aspect. And Mike being, in charge now at Road America after taking over from George Brugenthes, and George very well. He was just a astute racing guy. But Mike really started probably about 5 or 6 years ago, kind of started more of a short track program outreach. And that's kind of how it started. I would volunteer and I'd bring a pace car to Beaver Dam. I'd take a pace car up to Shawano, and just let the kids sit in the pace car, let them check out the pace car, and, say, hey, kids 16 and under are free at Road America. It's a deal. Paying adult 16 and under are free. And that includes this weekend for the NTT IndyCar series. But the way that it translates out is obviously Mike, having been a racer with the IRA, understands the value of the short tracks in the area, and certainly the benefit of having exposure for series like Steve to build their audience. And what Mike does is kind of help Steve with a little bit of the promotion aspect, but really this is Steve's bread and butter. especially at a racetrack like Plymouth, where you've got a great covered grandstand. The food at Plymouth is spectacular. As professional series have come through over the years, people find that Plymouth has great concessions, just like Road America. It's there's a very symbiotic relationship between those two racetracks. And of course, Saturday night, Pietro Fittipaldi, Graham Rahal, Christian Lundgaard are all scheduled for an autograph session from 5 to 6 p.m. Behind the grandstand at Plymouth. And also, there is a shuttle for those people at Road America that if they have tickets for the Road America Challenge, they can actually hop on a bus, and Road America does the driving back and forth with the shuttle, before the race, and then starts after the race and continues for about an hour or two after the races at Plymouth conclude. So race fans can safely go to a different racetrack, experience both in the same day, in the same weekend, but can do it safely. They can enjoy themselves and don't have to worry about parking their car, or don't have to worry about obviously drinking and driving, because that's a huge detriment to weekends like that. Is certainly people that aren't aware of the dangers on the road.
Right.
And that shuttle program really kind of sets that race weekend apart, because Road America wants to get you to and from the racetrack safely. And it obviously helps alleviate some of the parking concerns at the Fair Park, even though the Fair Park has a lot of parking. But when you get a grandstand that seats about 4,500 to 5,000 people, depending on the race weekend, if we have really good weather, it's going to be a fantastic night of racing. Right.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Graham Rahal. When Graham Rahal was, I think, about maybe 16, 17, maybe 18. I'm not sure. You might know. He won like an Indy Lights championship, something like that. And he secured it at with the event at Road America. And they had a banquet for him that evening over at the Osthoff. I interviewed him for my radio show at that time from the banquet. He found a room, and he actually talked to me from the banquet, and I interviewed him from the banquet. So that was pretty cool back then. So, it is a lot of fun. You and I have talked about it. I enjoyed my time at Road America very much, and would love to get up there with you, at some point. And at least I'd be on the mic with a Miller.
Yeah, but not much has changed. So we'll definitely see if we can make that happen, Mike. I would love that. You and I, of course, worked for Dale Traber Midwest Enduro Series together, yep. And did a couple of IRA shows on the road together. Even a few at Plymouth, I think, if memory serves correctly. But it's always a pleasure to see you, Mike. Obviously, you and Dad's friendship over the years. There's a reason why I still call you Uncle Mike. Your family, you and Kathy are certainly family for us, and I certainly consider you family. And it's always great to see you.
Well, it's great to see you. Thanks for taking the time. I know you got a busy weekend, and actually, my producer's going to hit me on the head if we don't say goodbye pretty soon, because we could talk all night.
Yeah, we could.
We wish you the best this weekend at Road America. Give my best to Mike and everybody, and Gail and all the gang up there that I worked with over the years. And I do plan on getting up there this summer. Kathy and I are going to make the trip north. And we'll be seeing you soon.
We'd love to have you, Mike.
All right. Thanks a lot. Eric Miller joining us, the voice of Road America. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We've had a lot for you in the last hour. Don't forget, this coming weekend, Saturday at Wilmot Raceway, the Family Night Checkered Flag giveaway, the wingless cars, the Wing 604s, the Lightning Sprints, and the Bandits. Great Lakes Dragaway, always in action every night except for Monday night. And then 1 week from tonight, plan on joining us when we're going to be broadcasting our podcast live from Culver's in Paddock Lake for the Motorsports and Cruising for Custard night. That'll be 1 week from tonight, Wednesday, June the 12th at the Culver's in Paddock Lake, 4 o'clock until dark. So until next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless everybody, and let's go racing.